And when we put the Bible and Qur'an side by side, only one consistently matches reality. Historians don't start with belief. They start with evidence. The Bible has been subjected to this kind of scrutiny for centuries. Over and over, discoveries in Egypt, Mesopotamia, and the Roman world have confirmed its details. The Qur'an, written 6 centuries after Christ, also makes historical claims. But when checked against the evidence, its record tells a different story. What follows is not interpretation, but a direct comparison. Claim against claim, fact against fact. The results speak for themselves. Case 1. The Pharaoh problem. Egypt's rulers were not always called Pharaoh. The word originally meant great house and referred to the royal palace, not the king himself. In Egyptian records, the monarch was called king, or identified by his throne name. It was only during the New Kingdom, beginning in the 18th dynasty, around the mid-15th century BC, that Pharaoh became a direct title for the ruler. The Bible reflects this shift with remarkable precision. In the account of Joseph set during Egypt's Middle Kingdom in Genesis 41, the ruler is called King of Egypt, matching the terminology of that era. Centuries later, in the time of Moses and the Exodus, the title changes. Now the ruler is called Pharaoh, exactly as Egyptian usage had evolved by the New Kingdom period. This is not the kind of detail someone could guess centuries after the events, especially since knowledge of Egypt's ancient titles was lost until modern archaeology uncovered it. The Qur'an, however, makes no such distinction. It uses Pharaoh for both Joseph's ruler and Moses' ruler, as if they were the same kind of figure living in the same political context. Even more, it places Haman, a Persian official from the Book of Esther, in Pharaoh's court, a mix-up that drops a man from the Persian Empire into the heart of Egypt's New Kingdom story. Egypt's monuments, king lists, and inscriptions leave no doubt about the sequence of rulers and the centuries between Joseph and Moses. The Bible gets those details exactly right. The Qur'an blends them into a single, historically impossible picture. Case 2. King Cyrus and the Return from Exile. In 539 BC, the Persian king Cyrus the Great conquered Babylon and issued a decree that forever changed Jewish history. The Bible records it with striking clarity. The Lord, the God of heaven, has given me all the kingdoms of the earth and has appointed me to build him a house in Jerusalem. This decree allowed the Jewish exiles to return home and rebuild the temple in Jerusalem. Archaeology confirms every part of this event. The Cyrus cylinder, discovered in Babylon in 1879 and now in the British Museum, bears an inscription from Cyrus himself. It describes how he restored peoples to their homelands and returned their sacred objects exactly as the Bible says. The Babylonian Chronicles, written by court scribes, record the fall of Babylon to Cyrus in 539 BC without a battle. Persian inscriptions also honor Cyrus as a ruler who allowed conquered nations to worship their own gods. The Bible even calls Cyrus by name more than a century before he was born. Isaiah 44 verse 28 and 45 names Cyrus as the one God would use to restore Jerusalem. No other ancient religious text records such a specific and historically verifiable prophecy. The Qur'an never names Cyrus the Great, never mentions the decree, and never connects the fall of Babylon with the return of the Jewish people. Islamic tradition sometimes tries to identify the mysterious figure Dhul-Qarnayn as Cyrus, but the passage contains no direct historical markers, no mention of Babylon, Jerusalem, or the Jewish return. The difference is clear. The Bible's account of Cyrus matches inscriptions, chronicles, and archaeology word for word. The Quran is silent on one of the most important turning points in Middle Eastern history. Case 3. The Fall of Babylon. Long before it happened, The prophets Isaiah and Jeremiah foretold Babylon's downfall. Isaiah 13, verse 19 to 20, declared it would be overthrown like Sodom and Gomorrah, never to be inhabited again. Jeremiah 50 to 51 spoke of its capture by a nation from the north and its complete desolation. These weren't vague warnings. They were detailed predictions about a city that, in the 7th century BC, was the pride of the world. History confirms the fulfillment. The Babylonian chronicles record that in 539 BC, Cyrus the Great of Persia entered Babylon without a major battle. The city's gates were opened, and its empire ended in a single night, just as Daniel 5 describes with the writing on the wall. Afterward, Babylon never regained its status as a ruling capital. Over the centuries it declined, was abandoned, and became the ruins we see today. Archaeological digs at the site match the Bible's description. Layers of destruction, no evidence of a revived empire, and inscriptions marking Persian control. The Qur'an, however, only mentions Babylon once, in Surah 2, verse 102, and not in a historical context. It speaks of Harut and Marut, two angels allegedly sent to teach magic, with no dates, rulers, or military events. There is no mention of the Persian conquest, no reference to Cyrus, and no account of Babylon's fall. The contrast is stark. The Bible gives names, dates, political context, and fulfilled prophecy, all verified by archaeology and ancient records. The Quran replaces one of history's most pivotal events, with a legend disconnected from the real timeline. Case 4. The Crucifixion Test. Few events in ancient history are as well documented as the crucifixion of Jesus of Nazareth. The Bible presents it not as a vague tradition, but as a public execution under the authority of the Roman governor Pontius Pilate. All 4 Gospels give eyewitness testimony. Outside the Bible, the evidence is equally clear. The Roman historian Tacitus wrote that Christ suffered the extreme penalty during the reign of Tiberius at the hands of one of our procurators, Pontius Pilate. The Jewish historian Josephus records in Antiquities of the Jews that Pilate condemned Jesus to the cross. Even hostile sources like the Talmud acknowledge that Jesus was executed. These independent accounts agree on the same basic facts. Jesus was crucified in Judea under Roman authority. The Quran, however, flatly denies this event. They did not kill him, nor did they crucify him, but it was made to appear so to them. It offers no historical evidence, no eyewitnesses, and no alternative timeline. Written 6 centuries after the event, it contradicts both the New Testament and every known first-century source. The crucifixion is one of the most secure facts of ancient history. It is anchored by multiple eyewitness testimonies, confirmed by independent Roman and Jewish historians, and embedded in the political realities of the time. The Bible's record aligns perfectly with the evidence. The Quran's account stands isolated, without historical support. The question is simple. Which account will you trust? The one confirmed by the witness of history, or the one that cannot stand up to it?